Right, well this will probably take a couple of episodes, but I've been very fortunate to have discovered on the world that I've been using to try out 1.18.1 with Computercraft, this sea monument, whatever they call it, extremely close to the surface. So this will be an ideal way to test some of the turtle stuff that used to work perfectly prior to 1.14, where the turtles, as they passed through water, would delete the water blocks. So it was quite easy to build a retaining wall around the entire monument and then drop sand from the top in a row and do say two walls of sand, and you could then remove the sand on the inner wall and leave the sort of next one to protect it, so you had an air gap, and then you'd run the sand again down, remove this one, and so on, so you'd work your way across. But the problem is, when you drop sand on the water plants here, they just break. They don't sink down and hit the ground, so that really doesn't work anymore. So we'll have to devise a way of getting rid of the sea plants and do it that way. But I think this could be fun, so we'll make a start by using the turtle to build a retaining wall around here on this top part, rather than trying to do the whole thing, and see how we get on, because even getting access through the top would be useful. Nearest land is over there, I think, so it's a fair distance, but doable. Yep, okay, so we'll head to the land and start constructing all that we need to get to here, create perhaps an island that we can work from. Right, let's head for the land. So here's our first job, to start building a path out to there. So this hopefully is already possible. So we now want the canal bridge and walkway. Now, I would normally just do one, which is a continuous path, but I'm aware that in survival mode, those guardians can attack from quite easily. So I'm thinking we might do, yeah, let's do a 2-block wide over air, water, lava. Or we could even do a covered walkway. Yeah, let's do a covered walkway, because that's going to give us the greatest protection against these things. So 2 times the length of dirt or cobble, press enter to continue. Okay, so start in front, continue if you've chosen it, and return. Oh, okay, well let's make it 64 just to see what this one does. So we want 128 stone. Okay, let's put that in. There we go. 8 torch, that would be handy. Right, let's see what that does. Okay, so as you can see, it's building the top of the walkway. So what we may have to do is to repeat this to try and build up some kind of protective area as we head for the island. So this is obviously only going to run for 64 blocks and then return, so I'll pause until it's done that. Right, so as you can see, it's now heading, it's done its 64 blocks, it's turned round and is heading back, facing torches as it goes. I'm not quite sure how close you need to get to an underwater temple before the guardians start to attack you, but I'm guessing it's probably not that far away. We could probably get away with another 64 blocks, I would think. Let's try. And by having this roof on, at least it's partially built if we need to start putting some protection at the side, or indeed if it's safer to walk on top rather than underneath. So I think that's what I'll probably test out in survival mode. Right, so I had to add another 36, which, because I'm in creative mode, I just flew along and just discovered how far away I was from the temple. So this will bring us hopefully roughly to the edge here, and having us above ground I'm hoping is fairly safe. There's only one way to find out, and let's go into survival again. There we go. Come and get me. I'm not quite sure how far you have to be to provoke them. Whoa. Ah, yes, I'm being attacked. Ouch. Okay, well that answered the question. Let's go back to creative. Not that I'm a coward. Right, so, and I'm thinking the 2 block wide over air water lava looks promising. So let's try that. I think from memory what this does is to just literally make a path and then return. So if we press continue for the chosen length and return. So let's make this maybe 32 across. So we'll add some more stone. Okay, looks promising. So, yep, that looks good. So it's coming back now. Let's widen it. Go left one, forward one, left one. Okay. Now we'll use the same as we did before and build another double path on. Okay, so I've built a work platform now, which overlooks the corner here. So what I want to do next is to build a set of stairs down so that it sits at least on top of, if not penetrating through into the monument below. And we'll do stairs down. This should be interesting. Okay, right, let's see what happens. Oh, chest. So that will go down first until it reaches 20 blocks, and then it will try and build upwards. Now, as we're in creative mode, we can actually watch this happening. Okay, it started the building of the staircase. Gap in the wall there. So far it's done a pretty good job. Not quite sure sure why we've got gaps in the wall here. Being squashed. Let's have a look at the surface. Now, because we're in open air, it's not filling in all the gaps. It's kind of leaving areas here which are free. I don't stand in there. That's it. Okay, so it's done its job. So we now have a means of getting down towards the temple, but it's a bit exposed. So let's get some more blocks. And I think we'll go down and do this manually from now. So let's build a little bit more protection in against A, falling in, and B, attack from sea monsters. In fact, it would be better, wouldn't it, if I do this in survival. So let me change out. Is that the end of the day or the beginning? So just going to cheat first of all, set the daytime. That'll do. Right, and right, here we go. Whoa. Didn't like the sound of that. Now what I didn't get was any sand or gravel, so I will need to cheat again and go back into creative because I forgot to pick those up. Anyway, this is not to show how good or bad a player I am, this is to see how you could possibly use the turtles in a survival game. So I don't let's just choose some sand. That'll do. Okay, now we'll go back to create to survival. I remember how. Survival, there we go. Right. So let's drop some sand in. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, of course, steps can be waterlogged, can't they? That's a nuisance. I have no idea what's going on here. Presumably whatever these yellow or round circles are is some kind of strength thing. Okay, so after the humiliation of being beaten up by guardians, even in creative mode, I had a hell of a job trying to fill in the staircase to get rid of the sand. So we are now all out war. So instead of trying to preserve as much of the structure as possible, it is now going to be totally destroyed. So step one, we have a new routine. It's to make a little platform. So we're going to make a platform that is 10 by 10 starting in this corner to completely cover this here. So let's load that up. I had a quick practice run to make sure it didn't fail. So it's now been added to the canal bridge and walkway. and we want a platform, and we want it 10 by 10, so 10, 10. Let's go. So it needs some more stone, which is fair enough. Let's bung in a few more bits. There we go. That'll do. So what it should do now is to create a 10 long by 10 wide platform, which will entirely cover the top of this building here. I'm still in creative at the moment because this is a new routine, and I want to make sure if there are any mistakes that I can dive in and catch them before anything too drastic happens. Okay, so I'll pause for a second until we get to the platform being finished. Okay, so it's done its job. It has built this 10 by 10 platform. We're at water level, so what I'm thinking is to create a routine that when the turtle is placed here, it drops down one, turns to the left and places a block here in case there isn't one, goes behind, plonks one here, then as it moves forward it builds to the side to get an extension of our platform all the way around. And because it's already down inside this block at slightly under the water level, but because this is already solid, there are no water blocks to delete. So as it goes along, it will create an empty one block space here. I'd break one just to demonstrate. So we'll get this string of empty blocks here, and it won't fill up because it will have already placed a block to this side. When it gets to here, we'll place one here, turn, move across, place one here, head all the way back here, and so on, and so that we end up with a 10 by 10 area that is surrounded by blocks, and the 10 by 10 area is one block further down, in other words at this level here, and that would be one iteration. Now the next stage, in fact what we could do at the same time while we're digging down and placing a block here and here, is to also place a block below, so that we've not only have we dug this area out, we've dropped it by one block. So that will allow us to gradually work down the layers. I will probably make it so that when we reach another block that is not a plant, we'll leave that in place and fill in between, so that we can get some indication as we go down as to what stage we're at. So we'll initially see these blocks here with this area filled in and so on, and as we go down the hollow eventually we'll get to this floor. So this will be left alone and we'll have blocks completely surrounding it. And then on that level we are then mining out the I can't remember what this mineral's called, this block, but we'll be taking all of that out with us. Unfortunately the lamps will get smashed unless you are on top with a silk touch pickaxe, then you can remove those, but if you let the turtle do it all, it'll just break them. But we will then be able to penetrate right the way down through the centre of the pyramid. What you'd intend to use it for after that is entirely up to you, but there's nothing to stop you from repeating the performance stage by stage and stripping out the entire thing down to sea level, and then you can use it as you wish. So I'll get back once I have got a working section here. Well, as you can see, we are now at the top of the temple. All the structure above has been broken down. We've got some stuff out of it. I'm in survival mode, and there's some very irritated and annoyed. Creatures out there that can't get in. Guardians are not liking it one bit. And I don't care that my strength has been weakened because I have my trusty robot here. So the problem with the weed has been fixed. It was just a simple error I'd made in the code, so the kelp is now being destroyed, and the system that you can see working now where blocks of water at a corner where they are able to get in are destroyed by having the turtle rise up, drop a brick on them, and then go off again. Okay, I'll let this run down and we'll come back when it's reached the bottom. I have reset it to 10 from about this level here, so it's got a fair way to go just yet. Well, the turtle's done its job now, and it has eliminated the most, all the way down to the floor there. Below the floor you can see down there is a couple of layers of water, then it's the seabed, and we have a stranded guardian here, but I think you can see that the turtle has done a fabulous job. We've got a ton of prismarine and some crystals, so got quite a bit of stuff here, so no doubt if you're in survival mode you'd want to dispense with this. And there was another one with his tail sticking through the wall somewhere as well. It was up there, seems to have disappeared. I assume these things can live on dry land for some considerable time, but that's made quite a mess of the temple, so I feel justified that they hacked me off earlier. Now I've shown them who's superior. Yep, okay, so I suppose the next thing to do would be to build a second one, or third, however many you wanted, to get as much of the prismarine out. I'm guessing if you wanted to build a farm, there's no need to clear the entire thing. You could probably build the farm here, but anyway, at least it's a proof of concept. You can indeed make the better of an ocean temple using a turtle. So I hope you've enjoyed this one, and we'll see what else we can find while we're digging around in Minecraft 1.18.1.